So what do you guys think of the paint job? I kind of really like it. It's got blood everywhere. It's got like green, black, you name it. Plus we have that friend that we found in the other Solara, Headless Bob. Project Infected is starting to look really, really good. We've got the paint on the bumper. We've got paint on the hood. We don't have the hole cut in the hood yet, but my God, is this car ever looking snazzy. We're not going to weld the doors because I really don't like welding. Blood all the way back. Oh, this thing's looking good. The green just makes it look so gross. Yes, the paint is not 100% dry, as you can see from my fingerprint. I only painted this thing about 6 days ago now, but I haven't started a fire, so I guess the paint really hasn't had that much of a chance to dry. But I'm liking the way this thing looks, and it looks horrible. And that's probably the reason why I like it so much, because it just... These derby cars don't have to look great. They just have to look good from a distance. And this thing, I think, is going to look great. We're probably going to do what we did at Fall Brawl a couple years ago. We're going to get a pair of like a onesie overall and put a body on the roof of this and then attach the head up there. But my God, this thing's looking great. What we're going to do today is we're actually going to cut the hole in the hood because the paint's almost dry enough. No, it's still nowhere near dry. But it's dry enough for me to cut it with a mini grinder. So we're going to install the hood header in this. I know that I told you guys I'm not a big fan of that header, but I'm not. But I'm going to install it anyway because everybody keeps asking me, where's the hood header? Where's the hood header? It's right there. So we're going to install it onto this car. And then we're going to cut the hole for the intake so that way that they can put a fire out if it happens. And I still haven't heard back about the threaded rod in the front, so we are not going to do the threaded rod until the derby actually gets closer. And we're not going to put the body on the top until the derby actually gets closer, because this derby, I got to travel on a major series highway, and if a cop or MTO roll up beside me and it looks like I have a human body on the roof of this, it may not go so well. But let's get the hood header installed. Decided to use up some of my more wacky colors, and I guess it's been a while since I used this green. I think the last car I actually painted with this was Cassandra's Sundance. Take a look at that brush. That's been in there for a while. But the good news is this paint looks like a definite snot/infected kind of color. So it's going to go perfect with the color scheme of this car. So let's letter this thing up. I'm going to put infected, Zacks Workshop, you name it, it's going to go on. Let's get her done. As far as I'm concerned, this car is painted now. We're still going to decorate it with the dummy, but you guys probably won't see that. It's early December now, and this thing's not being derbied till May, so I'll probably build that come next spring, see where I can find a nice one-piece coveralls, or who knows, I might even find a mannequin online for cheap. You never know what Kijiji's keeping away from me until I find it, right? But we got the header installed. I will be installing that little piece over top of it so it doesn't get water down it, because this does have to be stored outside once it's done. But as of right now, the only thing that really needs to be done to this car is the cage and the threaded rod. It might need a little bit of suspension work, but just to get it to sit a little bit taller. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, or if I might just take the coils, the struts out of a different vehicle, out of that one I brought to Barry, because they're not bent, and put them into this, because those have Grand Prix springs into them. But that's it for today, and thank you guys very much for watching today's video. I know it was a little bit on the shorter side, but this project's starting to wind down. When the projects get painted, they're pretty much done. All that's really left, like I said, is the cage, the threaded rod, and then we're going to have to tie the door shut. But I'll probably do that as soon as the cage is done. I like having the doors open while I'm installing the cage because it's a lot easier. So, take care, guys, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.